Hi, everybody, and welcome into the First Bet preview of the Big Stakes Spectacular Saturday at Laurel Park. We're talking specifically in this podcast about the Federico Tesio Stakes. Win today, and we'll see you in May, they're saying, Jeff Siegel. We'll see if any of these horses out of the Tesio will make it to the Preakness in the third Saturday of May.
Well, maybe. It's possible. We'll need a huge effort from one of these 9 3-year-olds entered in this mile and 1/8 event on the main track at Laurel, once around the oval. And we look at the field here, and we're looking at Joe, number 4, as the 5-2 morning line favorite. Shake Him Loose, who beat Joe in the prep race for this race, the private terms. That was last month. He's second choice at 3-1. A few others in there going to get some play as well. But I think the form over the track here will probably prevail. There are several of the entrants coming in from Parks, so you have to kind of factor that part in. But I think between Joe and Shake 'Em Loose, I think they're the ones to look at. I mentioned Shake 'Em Loose having won the last race in the private terms on the square. But here's the situation. There's a 6-pound weight shift in favor of Joe. Now, is that enough to make up the length and 3/4 he got beat by? That's what the handicapper is going to have to come to grips with. But a good competitive race goes as the 9th race. Again, it's called the Federico Tesio, named after the breeder of Rebo, one of the greatest thoroughbreds, 2-time ARC winner, and one of the most influential sires in Europe last century. And he was considered a genius. I'm not sure what connection he has with the Maryland Jockey Club, but that's who it's named after, Federico Tesio.
The Tesio, again, features the rematch of Shake 'Em Loose and Joe. We saw them in the private terms. That was the first 2-turn stakes on the road to the Preakness in Maryland. They've been running 1-turn miles, 1-turn sprints up to that point. Let's go back and watch the replay of Joe and Shake 'Em Loose in the private terms and see if we can't gain any knowledge towards Saturday's Tesio.
Yeah, they're off in the private term 6. Conclusive asks for early speed from the rail. Shake 'Em Loose to the far outside. Microstar and Locomotive is right there into the first turn run. So it's going to be Conclusive to set the pace. Leads about 1.5 lengths in front now from Locomotive in second. Microstar on the outside. Joe, the favorite, is 4th inside. And next is Shake 'Em Loose is racing in 5th. The Majestic Frontier, another 7 lengths back. And Eagle in Love trailing, getting the riders in the back of the pack as Conclusive shows the way. It's a clear lead by 2 lengths with 6 furlongs left to go from Locomotive and Microstar. Here's Joe traveling in 4th position, appears comfortable, about 6 lengths off of Conclusive, and then Shake 'Em Loose on the outside of Majestic Frontier and double digits back to Eagle in Love. The opening quarter was 23.73, so Conclusive sets a solid pace, leads it by about 4 to 5 lengths from Locomotive in second. Joe settled down inside there third, Microstar 4th, Shake 'Em Loose is 5th on the outside, Majestic Frontier well in advance still of Eagle in Love, has yet to pick it up. Heading into the far turn run, Conclusive still there, 47.59 was a half mile, but Shake 'Em Loose is closing in. Shake 'Em Loose moves to second on the outside, and Locomotive, Joe ridden along from 4th, still at an even clip with 3 furlongs left to go. Joe has 6 to make up as Conclusive is still going, with Shake 'Em Loose challenging on the outside. 3 more lengths back, and Locomotive, Joe is 4th out of the clear, and then Majestic Frontier is 5th, and Microstar still well back to Eagle in Love. They're into the stretch. Shake 'Em Loose! Shake 'Em Loose with Joe looming up on the outside of the center of the track. Here comes Joe! Joe on the outside at Shake 'Em Loose. Joe trying to get straightened up, shifted in just a little bit. Shake 'Em Loose has got the advantage. 1 furlong left to go. A 2-length lead on Joe, who's trying to reach on the outside. Shake 'Em Loose, Joe second, a 16th left. Shake 'Em Loose and Charlie Marquez. Shake 'Em Loose in the private terms to win by 2. Joe was second and Locomotive was third. Majestic Frontier Conclusive.
You know, in that race call from Dave Rodman, I thought he really picked up a good point about Joe on the far turn, about 3 furlongs out. He was just kind of grinding away and running steady. He doesn't look to be a horse who has a lot of gears, because when Shake 'Em Loose drifted out in front of him in the 3/16 pole, that was it for him. He just kind of stopped with his action, and he wasn't able to spurt again and re-rally. So he looks to be just kind of a one-run grinding kind of horse. And, Jeff, that can be good at this 1.125 trip, but he's going to have to stay outside in the clear and not have anything in his path again. And to me, that's the difference here. That and the 6-pound weight difference that we bring up about these two horses. The 6 pounds over 1.125 I think it can be a factor. And so I'm going back to Joe, but you have to stay clear.
Yeah, I mean, Shake 'Em Loose was outside in that race, and Joe was down on the inside and kind of got shuffled back a little bit, made an extended run. And again, when you factor in the 6-pound weight shift in Joe's favor, he could certainly close the gap there. But I also thought Shake 'em Loose might have been idling a little bit. When he hit the front, it looked like he was going to draw away. Kind of his ears went up. He's kind of looking around, and then he felt the challenge, and then he spurted clear. In the last 50 yards, he was drawn away again. And Shake 'em Loose is a horse who's won 4 out of his last 5 races. The only defeat coming when he got completely left at the gate and had no chance. So he's the kind of horse maybe that does only what's necessary. He's handled the 2 turns for sure. And he's drawn well in the 2-hole, which means he's going to probably draft into a good spot in a race that doesn't have a lot of pace in it, at least doesn't project to have, as we look at that field. So 3-1 and Shake 'em Loose. If those are going to be close to the closing prices, then I would prefer Shake 'em Loose over Joe. I'm not sure if Joe will go favorite. I guess he will, but because he was even money against this group last time. What you do have to do here, Jeremy, though, is try to factor in what the Parks horses are going to do. We got several of them coming over. Some of them have good form, including the bottom horse, Secret Alliance. Curlin Gelding just broke his maiden with rising numbers, and this will be his first try around 2 turns. He's bred to run that far. So I'm not sure how the Parks horses figure in here, Jeremy, but I know the Laurel horses are going to be tough.
Well, I think the Parks horses are part of the pace, right? The one Vine Jet's got some speed. I think on the stretch out will go towards the front, and Secret Alliance on the outside trying to pull the Taba a week later, going from 6 furlongs in the maiden win to the 1 1/8 in Stakes Company. Certainly different situation here, but John Service, the trainer of Smarty Jones, will have Secret Alliance, I think, up as part of the pace with Frankie Pennington, his Parks-based jock, coming to ride him. I see the 1 and the 9 going to the lead in here. I think the 2 Shake 'em Loose drafts in with a very similar trip, what we just saw in the private term, sitting just off of it, and Joe's going to have to try to grind him out on the outside and pull off the victory. 4 stakes races on Saturday at Laurel Park. Again, they're calling it the Win Today, See You in May. We also have the Weber City Miss for the 3-year-old fillies trying to make their way towards the Black-Eyed Susan Stakes. And also on the undercard, the Heavenly Cause Stakes and the Frank Whiteley Stakes, which is our Express Bet race of the week. You can get analysis for that race at expressbet.com and at news.first.com. for analysis of the Whiteley. Good luck playing the races this Saturday in Maryland. It is Federico Tesio Day, the first of back-to-back Saturday Stakes Spectaculars at Laurel. Great card this week and another great card next week. We'll talk to you on Tuesday on It's Official as we recap everything we saw in racing over the past few days. And when we recap on Tuesday, Jeff, it's not official until we say it is. So I'll see you then, partner.
See you then on Tuesday.